calculation and customer engineering consideration.
Yeah, so part of your guys' packets, and we also have Chris Hansen here with us meeting today, but part of your guys' packets or material that I gave you guys had a lot of, well, I forwarded his email to you. And I think I'll just let you guys take it away. Or I don't know, what are your guys' steps? How do you want to handle this? What do we do first?
Bart could explain, that he did the calculations based on the ordinance and come up with some different figures, and just want to see what the board would consider.
Trying to bring up all the material. Very tiny. So, I don't know. Do you guys want to speak to it and decipher the information, or what?
It has been a bit of an information deciphering exercise. What I did there was took the table that Jesse had provided. I assume it was Jesse.
Yeah.
Provided by the district, and that concluded that the Hansens had 52.46, I think was the operative number of ERs originally allocated or purchased with the original project, sewer project, and then just looked at how those ERs have actually been allocated over time. The original parcel numbers have changed, ownerships have changed. And I tried to demonstrate there, and we could go through it if you haven't looked at it or have any questions. But showed that basically, I think one of the key points would be that the Bitter End Marina, if you take the water meter data serving the marina complex. Over the last 4 years, it appears to behave or use water at a rate of about 2.41 ERs. Is one of the premises that we're presenting there. And I don't know if it's in your packet, but we had taken the meter reading data and summarized it to come up with that conclusion. The water meter data being provided by the district.
So on the ER that you're defining as 2.41, is that based on like maximum before you go over excess, or on a monthly reading, or how is that defined? I'm kind of new.
Sure, no. I would say we base it on the actual water consumption.
Yeah, and you got 2.4 divided into what?
Okay. Yeah.
It's
a fair question. Have to. I'm assuming that here we go. So
okay.
So here's the. I was just taking the total annual consumption divided by the number of days. So to get a daily average.
Bitter End is only basically open for 6 months, isn't it?
Yes, that's.
As far as usage, you don't allow it in winter stays or anything.
We do not. But we're unique that way. We're not actually a public marina. We don't sell anything other than boat moorage.
No float homes.
No float homes and nothing like that. And then we also don't irrigate. Everything we do is out of the water as far as irrigation. And then, like they're saying, we're seasonal. We don't allow patrons to stay over during the winter time. So it's basically a 6 month type situation.
Okay.
That's why the readings are so low. And I also would add that those readings also not only is at the marina, but that double wide home that's up above the marina, that's hooked in behind that meter as well, so.
And your mom's home is on that.
She's on a separate meter, Ted, yeah, so
Okay.
that meter is the marina and that manufactured home that Bob lived in, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
But essentially, there's three residences. One's a residence office, right? The main house, the double wide, and then the office residence.
Yeah,
Manager, whatever.
Yeah, there's the clubhouse and then the manager's
I'm
house.
not talking clubhouse yet.
Okay.
I'm talking the manager's house.
yeah,
And then there's the clubhouse,
Yeah.
yeah.
which is
No, the manager's house is, people are actually living there.
correct.
And that's not the clubhouse, that's the one
Just
just.
the manager's.
It's just the manager's house.
Proprietor's house.
Yeah,
There's
Yeah.
three homes where people live.
Yeah.
Residentials, right?
Well, I guess.
Maybe if you went down low.
At the marina, on the marina, there's the clubhouse and the manager's house. And that's the marina, and then the manufactured home up above there, that's all what's on the meters. Now, my mom's house and other places up above are on a different meter.
But on the total property, are there three residences or are there more?
You know, maybe, can you pull up that map, just,
Well, there's
The GIS map?
basically two in the marina, then, right?
That's
well,
correct.
this
Two
sheet,
in the marina.
you had it up once.
Oh, yep.
There we go. So here's a summary of what we had shown. I don't know if you can read it, it's right here. We've got the bitter end marina, 2.46. Then there is, Chris's mom's house. There's a mobile home. There's a shop also, and then there's a guest house. Though that's what we're attributing to the complex, the marina complex.
Yeah, so the answer is there's three residences.
I think that would be a correct statement.
Yes.
And then there's a clubhouse, which is a semi-public facility with multiple bathrooms.
I wouldn't say it's a semi-public. It's only open to the patrons of the marina.
Right.
So the public. So it's not a public restroom. It's a private restroom that is an attachment to the marina.
Understood. And there's a couple bathrooms, two or three in there.
There's three bathrooms.
3 bathrooms, 2 showers,
2 showers, and a little kitchenette.
and a faucet, and a sink, coffee making place.
and a couple of years ago, they eliminated people being able to stay there all winter.
Well,
There used to be some people that lived off of their boats all winter.
except for Greg, but he's gone. We won't go
But
there.
that was very few, right?
Okay.
And then do any of the boats have water service?
There are, one in 4 slips, there's a cross street.
No, we don't have any, Ted,
Okay.
none of the slips have water. We have one place they can come in and get water on the way up.
Okay.
That's right up close to the clubhouse, right?
That's correct.
Yeah,
I'm mostly asking these for clarifications.
Yeah.
And none of the boats have sewer service.
That's correct.
If they want to pump out theirs, they
They have to go to McDonald's.
They have to go to McDonald's, right?
Right.
Or is there one over at the park too?
Not at the docks.
Not at the park.
Parks doesn't have any.
Well, it's up, there's one up top.
There's a trailer, yeah, yeah.
I guess the question would be is, Jesse and Bob did their analysis there and come up with a big, and then we got the actual data of what it consumes. And we're just asking if we can go by the actual data. Is that correct?
Flow-based. The ordinance allows for evaluating it on the basis.
Yeah, so when they first presented, so I send them the post-inspection finding letter and I say, what I counted and what, according to our book, that would calculate out to for ERs. And they came back to me and presented, and they noticed at the bottom, this little bit right here. And so that spurred them to ask, well, what are we actually using? Because, yeah. And So yeah, they came in, they asked for meter reading history, things like that, to see if they were even using close to 250 gallons per day.
So what we're discussing is you would like to see an adjustment versus the survey that was done.
That's correct, yeah.
And the survey came out to, if I got the right one open here, 12.
9.46.
9.46.
Yeah.
Or 9.56, right?
Could be.
Well, it says on-site count 12.06 in use.
That included my mom's house and some of those up above.
And they're not on the bidder end, Murray.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right, it said 12.06.
There's also, above it says 9.46. The other ones are not in that plan.
See, that's what we were trying to do, is get everything allocated, geographically where it belongs, and yeah, it did, occupied 9.42. And then there was,
Okay, so what they're allowed and what they have occupied is the 9.46, but what they're using is 12.06, so there's no overage.
And so I have a question on how we came up with current ERs in use of 12.06. So single-family dwellings, 3 of them, it's 1 each per guest house, 1 at a 0.7. I'm not sure what a guest house is.
That's the uninhabited house, where there's a trailer, Shirley's house, their mother, and then the caretakers are the 3. Then there's an uninhabited guest house that they use for storage, but has a kitchen and a bathroom, so it's technically a guest house.
So it's technically an ER.
And then there's 2 public showers, and they're each 1 ER. That seems heavy. And then 3 public restrooms, each 1.5 ERs. Is that how we do the other resorts?
As discussed with Mr. Hansen, our other resorts have keypad entries, which makes them not public. If they were to change their facilities to being just open to the boat docks by either key access or pin pad or something, that allocation would change. It would no longer be to 0.
So the one I have my boat at, I've never used a keypad. And it's got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, probably bathrooms. Not sure if he has showers too.
We're talking about immediately.
So I was just curious how the 1.5 seems steep, and then the boat slips was the clubhouse with the restrooms and the showers, that would end up being 6 for that one building. And then the boat slips, if they don't have water hookups, what's the rationale for charging 3.68 or 3.86 ERs?
Well, the ERs are for sewer, so water hookups have nothing to do with it.
So these are water, not sewer.
When you're looking at that list that says there's 3 total and that their counting is 1.5, it's not 1.5 a piece, is it?
For a restroom is 0.5.
Right.
There are 3 separate.
I misinterpreted that. The boat slips are
The
those,
rationale for the boat slips, which was done in 1993 and then what the district has operated off since then. That has not changed. It's not gone up. It's not gone down. It has been ever since the system has been created and spread across the district. The rationale for that is that they would be using the bathrooms because every marina is required to have bathroom facilities. So for the people with boat slips out on the docks, they have the luxury to come in and use bathrooms on land. Where the extra charge of making a bathroom public, that became new when we adopted the ordinance, the sewer ordinance this last year. And we did change to have a public restroom allocation if that restroom did not have a keypad entry specific to boat slips.
By the same token, as you go down the hill, it says private,
yeah.
Correct.
So that, is that pretty?
We had to draw the line somewhere at one of the meetings when this was discussed, when I went and did my countings. And I said, hey, I came back and I was like, we have these bathrooms here and some are locked and some aren't. And they're only specific to the people on the dock, which if you're charging for boat slips, the only rationale to charge a boat slip for sewer is using facilities on land. So I didn't want the district to be double charging. So they drew a line in the sand and said, okay, keypad entry means it's specific to the dock. If it's not, and any old person can walk up to it from any old place and use the restroom, it is then public.
So the sign
it
didn't
just-
do it, they need the locks.
I mean, repeat that.
So the sign does not cover that, you want,
Correct.
we need to have the punch pads or whatever.
And
Because it does seem like the boat slip one is covering the
That'd be-
public parts. It seems like we're double dipping, that's.
well, and for years, there's been 50 boats with equal 1 ER. That's how it was originally set up.
And then after that, it was 0.2. Yeah, 1 ER for 20 slips. I'm sorry. 50.
It just seems like we're double dipping there. We're charging boat slips, and then the same people are actually not using their boats for going to the bathroom or using water. They're going up to the clubhouse to do it.
Well, sometimes there's.
So that's why it's set up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a nice setup. It's a great setup.
Sometimes there's a line for the bathroom, because there's only 3 and there's 190 boats, you know. On busy weekends, you could take it.
Saturday morning is the backup.
Jump in the lake.
Yeah.
That doesn't always work.
That's true.
Okay.
One thing that we haven't talked about is when we're talking about total water usage
Yeah.
over the course of a year.
Yeah.
Is the district is required to meet what DEQ considers peak day demand. And our peak day demand is in the summertime. So we have to meet our summer load. And because someone chooses to not use that portion of the winter months, it doesn't matter, we still have to have the capabilities for it. So you might want, if you took that number and cut it in half, you're looking at 6 months instead of 12 months, that might make a little more sense, but I don't know how it compares to what we're doing with the rest of the things here. But that's a fact. Peak day demand is we can't get away from it. We have to have that capacity. We'll be quiet.
Yeah.
No, important, very important info.
What's the next step?
So when you were, excuse me.
Yeah, I'm listening.
On your list here, you said that your daily average was under 500 gallons a day or whatever that threshold was that you were talking about. And then this sheet here, I don't know if it says Veteran Marina and S. Hansen, is that your mom's house?
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to, we're gonna consider that on that basis, we have to break out the mom's house and get what the daily average is. And if we're gonna do it correctly, we'll probably do it based on the 6 months of their operation. I mean, just to look at it, right.
Was Mom's house on a different meter though?
No, but it was included in this little summary sheet.
Yeah, and her mom's house really is on.
It's not that.
And regardless of whether or not they have different meters, the situation for the ERs goes to the parcel. And no matter how many meters are on that, because we're talking about sewer, it's going with ERs, which is sewer allocation.
That's different.
Yeah.
Two totally different, yeah, people want to join them together and I understand it, but yeah, meters has nothing to do with it.
That's what I was wondering if we were mishmashing here too. So,
Yeah.
I think on that table, we allocated 1 ER to each of, if you look at that table.
Each of the homes?
Yeah,
and that's as it should be.
Yeah.
And the guest home, in my opinion, there's a lot of guest homes around.
It's storage.
Whether it's being used or not is
It's connected.
it's connected until it's not connected, or it doesn't have a kitchen and bathroom in it. I
Because there's
guess
people that leave for 6 months out of the year and they're still
Exactly.
connected.
there's places are all over town, so
Yeah.
and they all have a great cause saying, "I'm only there for 2 months in a year. What are you charging me?" I mean, the flow comes to the
So if
city
he doesn't, Dad and I charging you $32 a month for the use and electricity.
But it seems to me we should either charge per ERs on public showers and restrooms, or we should charge on the boat slips. And doing both is a double dipping. Whether they're behind a keypad or not. There's not a line of people trudging down the hill from the public to go potty.
So, actually, if you look at McDonald's, which was the reasoning for our engineer got and met with McDonald's and one of our board members to establish the public restroom, where his is genuinely open to the public. Those public restrooms bring in a significant amount of traffic beyond the boat slips, which was the rationale for charging there. It would be double dipping, and that was what I brought to the board when Mr. Hansen was the first customer I met with at Bitter Marina. And that's when I became aware, wait, when does this become public and when does it become private? And I had informed them that if we put a locking system on it, that they
Does the Department of Lands, require that you have a restroom open 24/7?
That I don't know, Tim.
Okay. Okay, but you don't.
Pardon?
Is the restroom open 24/7?
Yeah, we do have one
Year
open
round.
all year round,
Okay.
yes, we do. Just, one
Yeah,
in the winter.
yeah, and that's all you need. Because I think that's the Department of Lands requirement.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah.
So getting back to the other resorts, because there's numerous ones. How many of them have public ones and how many of them have private ones?
I'm sorry.
Multiple, 6 or 7 other resorts out there.
Scenic Bay, a pad on yours, I think, so it has.
Has a pad on every single one of theirs. Even their
Does
RV
they?
pads. Yep,